Imagine a world where Sung Jin-Woo never became the strongest hunter. No shadow army, no overpowered abilities, just a tragic end inside the double dungeon. How would this change the fate of humanity? Would the monarchs still reign supreme? And could anyone else rise to take his place? Today on Anime Explained, we dive into an alternate timeline. What if Sung Jin-Woo never became a player? Get ready for a deep breakdown of how solo leveling would have unfolded without its legendary protagonist. Let's rewind to the moment that changed everything, the double dungeon. Trapped inside the Temple of Cardanon, Jin-Woo and his party found themselves surrounded by terrifying statues. One by one, the hunters were slaughtered, and just when all hope seemed lost, the system presented Jin-Woo with a choice. Do you wish to become a player? Now, in the real story, he accepted, and his journey as a Shadow Monarch began. But what if in this timeline he either refused, or worse, died before he could choose? If Jin-Woo refused, the system would have likely abandoned him, and he would have died alongside his comrades. The surviving hunters, including Song Chi-yeol and Juhi, would have barely escaped and reported the horrors of the dungeon. If Jin-Woo died instantly, his body would have never been transported to the hospital, and the system would have needed to find another vessel, or perhaps no player at all. Without Jin-Woo, the system would be forced to let events play out naturally. But this leads to a terrifying question. Who, if anyone, could stop the coming war between the monarchs and rulers? Without Sung Jin-Woo, humanity's chances against the monarchs would shrink dramatically. Here's why. Korea's hunters would struggle. With no Jin-Woo, Korea wouldn't have its strongest S-rank hunter. This would leave national-level hunters like Thomas Andre and Go Gun-hee to deal with increasing threats alone. Without Jin-Woo clearing dungeons rapidly, dungeon breaks would overwhelm the country. The Jeju Island raid would be a complete disaster. In the original timeline, Jin-Woo wiped out the Ant King and saved countless lives. But without him, the Jeju Island raid would have ended in total failure, with all hunters perishing, including Choi Jong-in, Baek Yoon-ho, and even Go Ruji. The Ant King would remain undefeated, possibly evolving further. The monarchs would face less resistance. Without Jin-Woo absorbing Ashbourne's powers, the monarchs would have an easier path to destroying the world. The Shadow Monarch played a key role in countering their invasion, and without his interference, their conquest would be unstoppable. The system may choose another player. The system was designed to find a host for the Shadow Monarch. If not Jin-Woo, another hunter might have been chosen. Possible candidates: someone like Cha Hae-in, or an entirely new figure could have been forced into the player role. However, without Jin-Woo's strategic mind and adaptability, even a different player might not have been able to reach his full power. The war would still lean in the monarch's favor. The biggest question in this timeline: what happens to Ashbourne's legacy? In the original story, Ashbourne chose Jin-Woo as his vessel because of his iron will and ability to defy fate. Without Jin-Woo, Ashbourne's power may have remained dormant, or he could have tried to manifest through another human. If another host was chosen but failed to reach full potential, the Shadow Monarch's power could have been left incomplete, making it easier for the other monarchs to destroy him. Worse, the Dragon Monarch, the strongest monarch, would have had no equal. In this scenario, the world may have been doomed from the start. With no Jin-Woo, no Kamish resurrection, and no Shadow Army, the final war would have been a one-sided massacre. As we've explored this alternate timeline, one thing becomes clear. Sung Jin-Woo wasn't just strong, he was necessary. His rise to power wasn't just fate. It was the only hope for humanity's survival. Without him, the world would have faced certain destruction, and the balance of power would have been lost forever. But now, we turn it over to you. Do you think another hunter could have stepped up to fill the void? Or was Jin-Woo truly one of a kind? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into solo leveling theories, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to Anime Explained, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. We've got plenty more anime breakdowns and theories coming your way. Until next time, stay strong and keep leveling up.